Die 8 verstörendsten Dinge, die jemals auf einer Dashcam aufgezeichnet wurden. Falls ihr Angst habt, Codewort Francesca. Wir gehen rein ins Video. Ihr braucht keine Angst haben, ich bin für euch da.
Danke.
Boah, Digga, das sieht jetzt schon sehr verstörend aus. Wir gehen rein ins Video. Let's fucking go, guys.
Danke.
Oh nee, Alter. Also, solche Straßen nachts sind gruselig. Oh Gott.
This first dashcam video was
Hab keine Angst.
captured in Australia. 2 men in a Mercedes are driving down the highway when, through their rear dashcam, a car is seen quickly approaching.
Yo.
It then swerves around the two guys before getting in front of them and slamming on the brakes, clearly trying to run them off the road.
WTF.
But what first could be written off as road rage soon takes a more serious and disturbing turn.
Yo, hat er eine Waffe?
The 2 men notice the driver has an axe and
Eine Axt?
is now waving it out his window and
Was zum Fick?
threatening them.
Oh, he's got an axe, dude. Like, what are you doing? Oh. Keep distance, bro.
Der hat eine Axt, Digga? Hä? Jo, als ob der jetzt stehen bleibt und aussteigt. Kickdown. Oh, er dreht um. Smarter Move, Digga. Smarter Move.
The sudden and unexpected encounter forces the 2 men to take a quick U-turn to lose the guy.
Aber das sieht für mich so aus, als wäre das ein Road Rage-Chat, oder?
But he continues to follow them. The situation is then taken even further when the 2 use the next exit and approach a roundabout.
Sieht für mich aus wie ein Road Rage. Oh, okay, hier ist die Kamera von hinten, Chat. Guck mal. Hier kommt das Auto wieder an, der verfolgt den immer noch. Oh! Yo, er fährt ihn drauf! Yo!
Cool cops. Yeah.
Wow, das ist creepy. Das ist creepy, Bruder.
No. Oh.
Der fährt ihm schon wieder drauf. Yo! Und er baut einen Unfall! Let's go! Geil! W in den Chat und L für die anderen halt. W und L halt, ihr wisst doch, wie Spiel läuft, Mann. W und L. W steht für Win, L steht für Lose, Mann. Wisst doch, was abgeht. Digga, das war Karma. Was könnte der Grund jetzt sein, Chat? Es muss irgendwas Persönliches sein. Es muss irgendwas, also der Typ und die Typen im Auto. Das muss irgendwas Persönliches sein. Entweder Drogengeschichte, Ex-Freundin, Freundin, I don't fucking know, vielleicht extremer Road Rage oder so. Also das muss irgendwas Persönliches sein. Das ist nicht random. Und es ist jetzt auch nicht so, dass der die ausrauben will oder so. Niemals. Das ist irgendwas Persönliches zwischen denen.
The second of
Drogen, Bro? Nee, glaube ich nicht.
which causes the attacker to spin out, sending him off the road.
Geil, Digga.
This allowed the 2 guys to get away.
Geil, Digga.
They would then
Nice.
drive to the nearest police station, where they would report what had just happened.
Wäre jetzt interessant zu wissen, was da rausgekommen ist.
Police arrived to the scene of the crash. The car was gone. However, a few hours later, they would find the vehicle on the road, and from there, the driver was arrested.
Okay, der Fahrer wurde festgenommen.
Later, the owner of the dashcam footage would give the video more context.
Aber warum? Was hat er jetzt gemacht? Also, warum hat er das gemacht?
Apparently, the driver chasing them, for whatever reason, was 100% convinced they had robbed his house the night before.
Warte, was? Die haben sein Haus ausgeraubt?
Them, for whatever reason, was 100% convinced they had robbed his house the night before. But obviously, this wasn't the case. The 2 guys had never before even seen the man. It was determined that he was under the influence of something.
Okay, das waren doch Drogen.
He would be charged with multiple offenses.
Krass. Okay, also Chat, so wie ich es verstanden habe. Der Guy in dem Auto hier hat ein Haus ausgeraubt und die kannten sich aber trotzdem nicht und der war auf Drogen. What the fuck, Digga? What the fuck? Falsch? Was falsch? Was falsch, Chat? Was falsch? Was? Chat, was? Native Speaker bin ich. Native. Komm, let Englisch. Lernt alle Englisch. Also die Mercedes-Typen haben sein Haus ausgeraubt, oder was? Ach so. Der Typ denkt, dass die Mercedes-Guys sein Haus ausgeraubt haben? Er denkt, dass die das waren? Okay. Naja gut, dann ist es ja irgendwo auch nachvollziehbar, was er da gerade macht mit seiner Axt. Okay, verstehe.
which put him in prison for 2 years.
2 Jahre in den Knast gegangen, deswegen krass. Was für eine Strafe hättest du in Deutschland bekommen? Geldstrafe.
In August of 2018,
Ach du Scheiße.
Dustin Bilton and his 70-year-old father were camping at Glacier National Park in Montana.
Uff.
They had only been in the park for 3 hours.
Uff.
They were informed of an immediate evacuation of the area. A forest fire ignited by lightning the previous night had gotten too far out of control. However, by the time they got the evacuation notice, unknown to them, the only road out of the park had already been engulfed by the fire.
Do I go?
Scheiße, also der ist campen gegangen mit seinem Vater und der Wald brennt. Und der einzige Weg raus aus dem Wald ist der Weg gerade.
Dad, this is insane.
I know. We don't want you trapped in here. Easy, easy. All right, we're good. Slow down. There's a big rut here. Just slow down. We're out of that fire.
We're not out of bed, Dad. We're not out.
Ach du Scheiße, Digga. Ach du Scheiße, Digga. Yo!
Easy, can't see. Just go easy now.
Yo!
Car's heating up. It's gonna explode.
Yo! What the fuck?
Dad, what if a tree falls on us?
Okay,
Please go.
What the fuck, Digga?
you're doing good.
Ey, aber, dickes GG an den Vater. Der macht es extrem gut. Also sein Sohn fährt, glaube ich. Und sein Vater ist ultra calm, Digga. Also ultra ruhig. Und versucht ihn quasi so Mut zuzureden und versucht ihn zu beruhigen. Ey, der macht das ehrlich gut, Mann. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Dad, we can't get out. I'm getting out. You can't drive back. We get that out of the road. We get gloves.
Oh my God.
Stop.
Dad, we gotta get out of here.
Back it up.
A fallen tree is seen directly in the middle of the road,
Oh, da ist ein Baum auf die Straße gefallen.
trapping them inside the park.
Scheiße,
They had nowhere
Digga.
to go but back, so they ended up reversing through everything they had just went through.
Die fahren jetzt wieder
Reached their
zurück.
campsite, they abandoned their car and desperately started running towards a nearby lake. By some miracle, there they would find 2 park employees in a boat on the shore of the lake. Justin and his father were rescued and taken to safety.
Krass, okay, also die sind zurückgefahren, haben einen See gefunden und da waren irgendwie Mitarbeiter mit einem Boot und die haben die gerettet. Digga, das ist ja mal crazy, das ist wie ein Film.
Leaving everything but this horrifying footage behind.
Crazy.
This dashcam footage shows the
Okay, nicer Clip
armed
gewesen.
robbery of a cab driver.
Ich glaube, haben wir den Clip schon mal gesehen irgendwo?
The driver, Ralph Valletta, had just started his shift. This was his first ride of the day. He was stopped at a light, and the rider can be seen in the back slouched down. But abruptly, he sits up and demands Ralph give him everything he has.
Ich glaube, den haben wir schon mal irgendwo gesehen. Also der wird ausgeraubt, glaube ich. Und die Cops sind hinter ihm. Die schnappen den jetzt.
Danke.
Man, I don't. Give me everything you got. Give me it now. All right. I need it now. All right. We can make this the easy way, or we can make this the hard way, man.
Everything I got, man.
Keep your hand where I can see him.
I just started.
What else you got?
I just
Let me see
started.
your wallet. Let me see your.
I don't have anything in my
We
wallet.
can do this the hard way, or we can do this the easy way, man. Let me see your wallet and let me see your phone. I need it all right now. If you don't want to die, man.
Ey, der arme Digga.
Okay.
Aber jetzt kommt gleich Karma, Chat.
Give it all to me now.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to the rider, a police cruiser was stopped at the same light directly behind them. At some point during the robbery, the light to the lane they were in had turned green, and seeing that they weren't moving, the officer put on his lights and got out to investigate.
Don't have anything in my wallet. I don't carry it.
Jetzt kommt der Kopf von hinten.
Wallet and your phone. I need your wallet and
No, please don't give me my phone. I need that for my. There's a cop behind us. There's a cop behind us.
Yo! Geil, Digga. Geil, Digga. Geil. Sehr satisfying zu sehen.
Almost immediately, the officer would realize that a robbery was taking place. So, in response, he would order the rider out of the car, where he would then be detained. The rider was arrested and later charged with multiple offenses.
Nice, Digga. Ich hoffe, die haben den schön weggesperrt, Bruder. Ich hoffe, die haben den schön weggesperrt, Digga.
In April of
Winner.
2021, a man named Mitch Kuhn was driving on the highway back from work when he saw this.
Ein Känguru, ein blaues? Was ist denn das?
A child that looks to be wearing
Ein Kind?
a large jacket, or that's possibly wrapped in a blanket, begins walking out in the middle of the highway,
What the fuck? Ein Kind, was in eine Decke eingewickelt wurde?
just barely missing Mitch's truck. Mitch was towing a trailer and felt that if he abruptly stopped, it would cause an accident. So instead, he opted to call the police, reporting an unattended child walking on the highway.
WTF?
Police assured Mitch that they'd send out patrol units immediately.
Was ist das? Ist das ein Känguru, ein blaues?
An hour later, Mitch called again for a follow-up, as well as to offer the footage he had caught on his dashcam. But he was told that it wouldn't be necessary, as the child had been collected safely and was
Okay, die haben das Kind gefunden.
on its way home. However, strangely, police would later state that no child was found,
Die haben das doch nicht gefunden.
despite officers searching the area until 3:45 a.m.
What the fuck?
Additionally, they would claim that at no point did they tell Mitch that they had found the child. The next morning, multiple volunteers commenced a search of the area, but no child was ever found,
Yo, das ist creepy.
and therefore the search eventually ended. At the time the footage was captured, there were no reports of a missing child in the area.
Warum soll da auch ein Kind mit einer Decke rübergehen?
It remains unknown who exactly was captured in this video.
Ja, Känguru ist es, Chat. Was ist es für euch?
This video was taken in Russia. It shows the dashcam footage of a man driving down a desolate and long stretch of dirt road. Then, up ahead is a car parked in such a way so as to block traffic. Two men
Okay, was machen wir jetzt in der Situation, Chat? Was machen wir jetzt in dieser Situation? Ein Typ auf einer verlassenen Straße mit einem Baseballschläger. Was machen wir? Richtig, Kickdown.
with baseball bats begin walking up to the driver. And that's when it becomes clear that this is a robbery, and the parked car was an intentional makeshift roadblock.
Also dumm auch.
The driver tries to escape, but the two men get in the way and do their best to prevent it.
Kickdown. Ganz ehrlich, Chat. Kickdown. Was überlegt er jetzt gerade? Kickdown.
Fortunately, the driver had a window of opportunity and took advantage.
Nice. Let's go.
He slammed on the gas and was able to get away unscathed.
Let's go.
He then drove around the
Boom.
roadblock and was free.
Aber auch, Digga, Vollidioten, oder nicht?
It's unknown if the two men with baseball bats were ever caught.
Vollidioten, Digga.
In late November of 2015,
Boah.
a large catastrophic bushfire broke out in South Australia.
Ach, das ist ein Buschfeuer? Ich dachte, das wäre schon wieder ein Tornado.
This dashcam footage was captured by one of the fire trucks responding to the incident.
Danke.
Right from the start of the video, enormous smoke clouds are shown, depicting just how large the fire had gotten.
Das ist creepy,
As the
Mann.
trucks continue forward, visibility gradually worsens.
Ich dachte, das wäre ein
So
blaues
bad to where the
Känguru.
fire trucks are forced to stop. Then, in the distance, the fire itself can be seen, spreading towards them unnervingly fast.
Alter. Alter, hä? Yo, das sieht aus wie die Hölle. Alter. Oh, der fährt den noch rein. Digga.
Danke.
A miscommunication between the two trucks resulted in a collision.
Ach du Scheiße.
The truck in the front was attempting to back up out of the fire, while the truck with the dashcam was entering what's known as a burnover. A burnover is
Was ist ein Burnover?
the fire truck protection protocol where the truck stays in place and the crew deploys Velcro blankets to protect themselves from the heat. Water is sprayed outside of the vehicle to keep it
Ach krass.
from catching on fire.
Ach du, ey, crazy, Chat. Habt ihr das gesehen? Das wird also Burnover genannt. Wenn das Feuer quasi zu nah an die rankommt, dann machen die diese Decken raus und dann wird Wasser um den Truck gesprüht, dass die safe bleiben. Das ist ja crazy, Digga.
And in the inside, breathing masks are
Wusstet ihr das? Schon mal davon gehört?
used by the crew. During this protocol, however, the crew from the truck in the front can be heard desperately explaining how they didn't have water for a burnover.
Die haben kein Wasser gehabt.
Rather, their truck's sprinkler system wasn't working properly.
Scheiße. Scheiße, Digga.
They couldn't stay in place and were forced to drive forward in the hopes of escaping the fire, which you can actually see in the video as the truck fades into the distance. Fortunately, this move would end up saving their lives. They would make it to the other side of the fire,
Krass, die sind einfach weitergefahren.
and everyone inside the truck, as well as the one with the dash cam, would make it out with minimal injuries.
Okay, und die haben alle überlebt. Heftig, Digga. Also das Chat, das sah wirklich unfassbar gruselig aus. Also der Moment, wo du das Feuer siehst, wie schnell breitet sich das Feuer denn bitte aus? Dieser Moment, Chat, das sieht absolut gestört aus. Das sieht aus wie die Hölle, Digga. So stelle ich mir die Hölle vor.
This footage was captured way back in 2012. It takes place near an airport in Moscow, Russia. The airport is right next to a highway, and on December 29th, this dashcam footage would capture the disturbing moments a plane missed the runway and
Was?
crash-landed just on the right side of the highway.
What the fuck? Da hat ein Flugzeug die Landebahn verfehlt? Nee, den Tunnel? Alter!
It turns out the plane had mistakenly overshot the runway because of bad weather conditions.
Ah, der ist gelandet und hat es aber nicht mehr geschafft zu bremsen. Holy shit.
So when it landed, it didn't have enough room to brake. This left it no choice but to go directly into the highway, causing plane seats and other debris to shoot towards passing vehicles, all of which can be clearly seen in the footage. At the time of the crash, the plane was only carrying crew members. No passengers were on board.
Okay, da waren keine Passagiere an Bord.
But unfortunately, 5 of the 8 total crew members would lose their lives.
Scheiße. 5 von den 8 Crewmembern sind gestorben.
The driver of the vehicle with the dashcam
Junge, wir können alle Englisch. Digga! Eins, wer's feiert, wenn ich die Scheiße übersetzt. Gottverdammt!
would make it out unharmed.
Ach, dann leck mich doch am Arsch, alle Chat, wirklich. Dann leck mich am Arsch. Ehrlich, ihr seid Egoisten. Narzisstische Egoisten seid ihr, Chat. Ich mache einen guten Job. Freunde, das war wirklich ein unfassbar interessantes Video. Ganz, ganz krasse Aufnahmen hier in dem Video gesehen. Ja, das war echt, das war sehr crazy. Gutes Video gewesen, interessantes Video gewesen. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Reaktionsvideo wieder. Euer Mogli.